sign language. Got it. Recording in progress. We
Sorry.
are
Yeah, I
we're
didn't want to interrupt.
No problem. Go ahead, John.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so founder of Heritage Interpreting. We're primarily a sign language captioning company. We also do spoken language, OPI, VRI, the whole gamut. Nice to meet all of you.
Great. Thanks, John.
Nice to
Steve,
meet
do
you
you want to go?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Say Steve? All
Yeah.
right.
Yes,
Okay.
another
Steve.
an ALC Bridge committee member. Yay!
100%. That I am here today under the guise of under my ALC Bridge committee member hat, but I'm also the CEO of Chesco Linguistic Services based in where are we based? Denver, Colorado. I actually am based myself in Washington, D.C. The company does translation and interpreting, primarily public sector work for language access.
Thanks, Steve. Sharif?
I think I'm the only Sharif here. Hi, Sharif Al-Haddad. I am a co-founder of business development at 360 Smart Lingo. I believe all you guys have met Reem before. We're primarily working with the interpretation, or we are working on interpreting and translation as well.
Awesome. Gunnar?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Gunnar. I'm from Directum Translations. Our main office is based in Monterrey, Mexico. I'm really based in Houston. That's where I am. So we do all translation and interpretations.
Fantastic. I'm thinking Sean, Jeremy, and Sean are not here. And those are, according to the meeting chat, AI bots.
Interesting. We should
What a
all
world.
get that to send to our meetings.
Oh, here comes Richard.
What a
Here
world.
comes Richard, another
let's-
ALC Bridge board. Committee member.
here.
Yay,
Good
Richard.
morning, or good afternoon for some.
Hi, Richard. We're just
And-
doing introductions. If you want to introduce yourself.
Oh,
Okay.
We'll go to Steve Moore.
Richard.
I'm in it. Yeah.
You look at my chair. I got a new
Yeah.
computer, and it got
Your audio is
configured wrong.
overlaid.
I was going to
over
say,
it.
Richard, are you wearing that on your chest? What is it? Oh my
I gotta
God.
figure out, where do we go here? Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
There you are.
There he
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Hi.
So introduction. Yeah, I'm a technology wizard for the ALC. Um,
Really.
Longtime member. Got a little company out here in California. Adore Kathleen because she's just a wonderful person and a good friend. Yeah, been in this industry for a long time and want to support improvements to the industry, make it easier for people. And there we go. I'll leave it at that.
Great. Thank you. Steve Moore, if you're not a bot.
I'm here.
Oh, good.
Yes, Steve Moore. I'm the recruitment partner at Global Search RC. We specialize in headhunting, sales, operations, and leadership professionals exclusively in the language industry.
Cool.
So really enjoyed the ALC conference and looking forward to networking with everybody.
Great. Okay, let's go to Dr. Rivers.
Hi, I'm Bill Rivers, principal of WP Rivers and Associates. I'm a lobbyist and consultant. I'm not here with my ALC advocacy hat on, but always happy to talk about that. I'm here with my ALC Bridge hat on. I'm a advisor to the Bridge, having been one of the first members of the Bridge.
Great. Thank you. Kathleen.
Karen, what about Karen?
She'll be next.
Oh, she'll be next. Okay. All right, Josh. First, I'd like to say thank you, Josh, for assembling this fantastic day for me here. This is so great. So great. My name is, in fact, Kathleen Diamond, and I am honored to be the chair of ALC Bridge. But I also have another life. I really do. I used to have a company of fairly significant language company in Washington, D.C. Called Language Learning Enterprises, LLE, and sold that company back in 2009 to Sierracom. Sierracom's doing very well. I'm very pleased to see. I like
They bought your company.
I gave them that push, you know, so it's all good. It's a wonderful industry. Since then, I have been working primarily as a consultant in the language services field, and I work with private companies, private clients, mainly assisting on folks making decisions, making good decisions. Whether it's they want to grow their company, they want to close their company, they're tired of their company, they want more of their company, whatever it is, make the decision and get moving. And my role is to give them that push. But my passion and my love is my volunteer time. And that is this time that I give to the Association of Language Companies that is so meaningful to me and really sort of put me here in this chair. And like Dr. Rivers, I also serve on the advocacy committee as co-chair. But today we're working, as you can see, for ALC Bridge. So I'd like to see show of hands, all the new people.
Before you get started,
Yes,
so a
yes.
couple more introductions before you
yes.
start
Okay.
content. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Josh.
Madam President, introduce
Still
yourself.
getting used to that. Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Decker, and I'm in downtown Washington, D.C. I own a language school. We do language training for the whole alphabet soup of government agencies and organizations. And I started out as a teacher, then through many years of working and supervising, I ended up being the owner of the company. And I am here also as the newly elected president of the ALC, and I'm very excited to meet all of you. And welcome to Bridge. Kathleen and I go back a long way. She said she used to own a language school, and we were competitors down the street from each other. I'm still here. She's moved on. I may be asking your services someday if I ever decide.
Yeah, you better hurry up. You better hurry up.
Anyway, welcome. Bridge is one of on my list in terms of my vision for ALC, because I really believe that along with the services we provide for young folks that are interested or don't even know what they should do if they want to get into the language industry, it will also raise the visibility of ALC across the board through all different industries, including academia and higher education. So kudos to Kathleen and her team. We've come a long way, baby, and we've got a long way to go.
Great. All right. I see that Carl joined. Carl, if you don't mind giving a brief introduction of yourself. Okay, Carl might not yet. Oh, there we go.
Goes.
There I am. Hello. I apologize. I'm not in a place where I can be on video right now. But my name is Carl Kosorik. I'm the owner of Deaf Access Solutions, otherwise known as DAS, D-A-S. We are based in the Metro Washington, D.C. area, and seemingly Josh has now taken over the CEO-ship of one of our major competitors. So hello, Josh. Just announced in the last couple of days. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm a new member of ALC. I did attend the event in Portland. Was very impressed with the information and the workshops and the content. So I look forward to learning more about ALC.
Awesome. Thanks, Carl.
Welcome, Carl. And we're neighbors too.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be on here.
Nice to meet you.
Marlene, would you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Marlene Julien. I am the owner of Cross Solutions. I've been a member of the ALC for a long time, but I've never had a chance to come to any of the new member meetings. So I thought it would be a good idea for me to get to know more about the organization and get more involved and benefit more from what the organization has to offer. So thank you.
Love it. Awesome. So I'll introduce myself, and then we can go to the office. Allison and Mariana. Mariana has some slides to tell us important things like how not to end up in jail as a result of this meeting. So I'm Josh Panisse. For my ALC role, I'm the president in charge of vice president of the board, and also the chair of the membership committee. And one of the things the membership committee does is these new cohort sessions. There are 4 of them spread throughout the year. This is the 4th. So if you joined at some point like Carl, and this is your first one, then you'll be invited to the next several in 2024. And the purpose of these meetings is to help you realize the ROI on the significant investment, which is your membership dues. So there's a lot to the ALC. There's a lot of layers. And if you just join and pay the money and subscribe to the email list, you may not find out how to really get a good return on this. So that's what we're aiming to do for you. And as Carl said, as of 2 days ago, CEO of TCS Teams, which is a sign language interpreting, captioning, and disability access company in the Washington, D.C. area, mainly federal contract work, but spread throughout the U.S. as well. So Allison, our executive director, and then Mariana, and then you can go with the slides.
Okay. Hi, welcome everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Not here, here. Okay. So I'm going to mention we have a bunch of upcoming events. We have the member town hall in November 2nd at 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Then we also have the webinar, Launch Your 2024 Internship Program with ALC Bridge, November 9th from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern. The roundtable, How to Determine Quality for Interpreting, on November 15th from 2 to 3. And here, Josh wanted to add something.
Yeah, this is a newer type event for us. So I just wanted to explain what the roundtable is. It's modeled after the unconference, which will be in February, that Mariana will show you in a second, where it's slightly structured discussion. So there's no presenter. This is really a time for everybody to bring to the table what they're doing and to learn off each other. So more of a share shop type environment. So that's what that will be, November 15th. The topic was one by popular demand from the last one we had, which was on AI. And so this was the most popular ask. So it's really the question of discussion is, how do you monitor and determine quality in interpreting, and how to use that in your sales process? Back to you.
Thank you. Then we have the ALC Connect networking event on December 7th from 5:30 to 7 Eastern time. We have an ALC new member cohort meeting on January the 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Then we have the unconference on 2024, which is going to take place in Cancun, Mexico, on February 7th through February 9th. We also have the On the Hill event coming up on February 29th from 11 to 6. Amplify in June 2024, the Sales and Project Management Forum. The annual summit in September 11 through September 13, which is going to take place in Montreal, Canada. Well, and after this, I also want to take a time to thank our sponsors, the diamond sponsor, Language Line Solutions, platinum sponsors, Buslingo, Certified Languages International, and TBO, a gold sponsor, Bilingual, and our bronze sponsors, HLA, Leo, and Ring Squared. And last but not least, I'm going to show you the antitrust policy statement of the ALC. If you have any questions regarding this issue, you can always email me at info@alcs.org or office@alcs.org. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mariana. And real quick, our executive director, Allison, wants to say hello, and then Kathleen, you can take it from there.
Hello, Kathleen. I don't have much to say. Just welcome to the ALC. If ever you have any needs, please reach out to Mariana or myself, and we'll work to be able to address whatever your concerns are.
And I have to say, Allison is going to be a part of my little, pony show here. So she doesn't just say hello, she jumps and performs and saunters and jumps through all sorts of incredible hoops on our behalf. So thank you so much, Allison. I'd like to start off this morning by asking how many of you, especially among the new, actually know something about ALC Bridge. Just a hands up or a, okay. So it's important that I give you then the origin story. Back in about, I don't know, 2017 or so, ALC had one of its incredible unconferences, and we had some small breakout meetings, just a few of us in a room kind of talking, and Bill was in that room with me, and I don't think you were, Steve, but a couple of the other people, Doug Strock and Scott Klein, CEO of Language Line, and several others. And we're just going around the usual, what's your pain point in your small business, blah, 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 whatever. And it came very quickly to the attention of everybody in the room that it was lack of good talent, global talent, linguistic talent in our pipelines that was causing the biggest problems and challenges. And this was across the board, from the large company present, Language Line, to smaller companies present. And so, what are we going to do? Something got into me, who knows what, it was probably the good air in Carmel, whatever. I said, well, it seems to me that if we are looking to have good employees, good people working in our companies that have language sense and a global view, we should be talking to the academic world, the very source of who's training these people and preparing them to come to work for us. We had needs for the future and current workforce, and I figured that where they're being trained, where the future was in academic institutions. Well, it wasn't but 2 seconds when people said, oh, that's a great idea, Kathleen.
It is. There's no need for the approval. It is a good idea, great idea, actually.
So tag, you're it. That is how I became, ladies and gentlemen, the chair of ALC Bridge. And I'm delighted to have taken on the responsibility, and it has been in the famous words of one of my key ALC Bridge committee members, Richard Antoine, it has been a slog. And when he first said that, I said, oh, he's kind of negative, isn't he? But it has been a slog, but you guys are coming in at a really, really good time, because the slog is kind of, it's easier to manipulate way our through. So when I left the unconference, I felt this responsibility extremely heavily in my shoulders, and I felt very serious about it, because I'd had experience with my own alma mater, the University of Florida, in setting up scholarships and having the deans look at me and saying, what do you do? You're in what industry? So I knew there was a need to get the conversation going. So the first thing that I did was I formed the ALC Bridge Committee. And I'm proud to have Richard and Bill and Steve with us this afternoon. I don't think I have any others, but the whole concept was to put together the bridge. We needed to have our language companies, but we also needed to have educators, because the bridge is bringing together the employers with the educators for the purposes of the students, for the students to see, oh my gosh, these people really have great opportunities for us. Simple concept. What could be easier, right? This committee is a group of people that I call and will always call awesome people, for that they are. They show up even when they're not, even when it's not scheduled, they show up, they support, they're a part of the work we're doing. But the committee meets every month on the first Tuesday of the month from 12 to 1 p.m. We are not looking for more committee members right now. What we need from you as we go through this meeting today is to use what we've built for you. we've got it pretty much in control in terms of what's available, but we need you, the educators, the employers, to come on to the bridge. And Allison's going to show you the website in just a second. So where we are now is we've got this tool. We launched the website, and it's important that you understand that this is a fully separate URL. This is alcbridge.org, and you go right in to the bridge, and it has with it a job board, which is another subset URL. It's live, it's ready to go, and the challenge is to have educators getting their students to come looking, and language companies to be posting their jobs. So the reason that I'm excited to be talking to you today, well, I'm always excited to talk to you today about ALC Bridge, but in particular is because for the first time, we launched in 2019, and then COVID hit, but because of this fabulous virtual world that we live in, we actually made terrific progress in talking to educators, getting the word out, asking them to come play with us. In the beginning, it was, oh, well, you know, our Spanish department, it may be closing down, and we're going, no. Talk to us about jobs. And bit by bit by bit, the institutions have come. And this summer, the summer of 2023, I'm thinking it's going to be an easy summer. No, they started coming into the inbox, coming in. So we had this fall webinars for Carnegie Mellon, Rutgers Newark, University of Florida, New York University Professional Studies, Cornell Launch. Cornell Launch. Launch stands for Liberal Arts Undergraduate Network for Careers and Hiring. Bingo. That little network was brought in by Randy Morgan, one of our ALC Bridge awesome people. That's a network of 8 Ivy League schools. We're going to be there on campus in their case. We're also working with a whole group of others that we've worked with in years past and continue to have relationships with. It's fantastic. It's Brigham Young and Kent State and Salem State and University of New Mexico, Utah Valley, Weber State, University of Washington, Middlebury, and just got communication from Wake Forest. They heard about us. This is what's happening. They're coming in and saying, hey, we want in. And I'm saying, here is the door. So it's really, really an exciting time for you guys to understand what a terrific benefit this is for you and for our industry as a whole. And the way it works is that we do all of this. We created a committee, and then of course we created a ALC Bridge Speakers Corps. Naturellement. I mean, I got to have resources when they come calling. In some cases, they want just a webinar, just an introduction to the industry. And other times they want actually to hear from Dr. Rivers. They want to see Steve. They want Randy Morgan to be on campus. So we go into the classrooms with then more specific information. So they'll bring in Adam Wooten, for example, to talk about localization. So we're doing like series of exposures to students in classrooms. It's so exciting. So that's where we are kind of at this fall of 2023. But at this stage also, it's important that you understand we've got much bigger plans for 2024. And Richard Antoine is helping drive that initiative, and that I think he's sick of the slog too. So he's pushing to let's get going. We can't keep doing it this way, which is a little campus here, a little campus there. We've got to start going to career fairs. We got to get big. So there's a plan that's going to be submitted to your board of directors later this fall or early 2024, where we'll be asking for more support, maybe even certainly some funding, and get this incredible resource out to a much broader marketplace. So I've given you the kind of the highlights, and I think what I'd like to do now is to is to actually take you to the job board with Allison's assistance. I put together a slide deck to show you, but I think in the interest of time, I'd rather hear your questions and actually show you how to, because what we need is we need you to be present. And we can't just have language lines jobs posted. We need everybody's jobs posted. And we will be doing a presentation in November with, I think, Richard's, your help on internships and how to get those posted and get going. But Allison, first, any questions? I know I've put a lot of stuff out there quickly. So far, so good. Okay, so
I'd like to add in that Carnegie Mellon is so much behind the effort. They've actually posted a professorship on the job board. So it's really, you know, if you think about it, it's a place for the language industry. The educators, not just for to get students, but also for them to get their talent. They're seeing the vision. I was in a conference call yesterday. ATA has these new special interest groups, Southeast Asian languages. They don't have a watering hole. People are actually looking for places to find jobs. Where do you think I'm going to be steering them? To the bridge. So, you know, yes, it's individual efforts that are going to come together, and we need more of those. But the potential is really to get high quality linguists for us, high quality linguists to get our work done. And well, there we go. That's enough.
And I think it's really a two-way street too. And as Kathleen said, you know, people are coming to us now saying, "Hey, we heard about you." Because there's a context here for languages in higher education in the United States where enrollments are cratering, even in Spanish. Spanish went from 1 million to 750,000 in the space of about 3 years. And that's across, you know, about 16 or 17 million college students. So those departments are looking for a way to make themselves relevant, to allow that kid who's getting a language degree to tell their, you know, her parents, yeah, I might actually find work after this, you know, as opposed to, you know, not necessarily as a barista, you know, that's fine, or a bank teller. And it also expands the pool, not just for our linguists, but the back office. And I tell the story all the time. When I was in the industry about 15 years ago, I was a CTO of a small company. We did a lot of management consulting, but we also had some language services that we were doing. We were providing teachers to 3-letter agencies. We were white labeling a lot of languages of lesser diffusion. And as a CTO, I ended up managing that. Well, that made me a less effective CTO. It took like 2 years to find a manager for that, because we'd hire somebody with a general business background and they'd be like, well, why can't I send this student who took 4 semesters of Mongolian to Mongolia with the US Army? Okay. You know, it's like all those the vendor management, the client management functions too. In my view, at least as Bill River speaking personally, it's really important that somebody have a clue about what we do. Now, yes, there are people who say you can train up salespeople, and sales is a very dark art, but not everyone is good at it. But it's actually like really important, I think, on the back end side too, the back office stuff, as well as the frontline linguists. Anyway, that's just my spiel.
Absolutely, Bill, and thank you for queuing me up on that. The message that we give when the members of our ALC Bridge Speakers Corps goes to campus, the message is we are not only looking for linguists in the sense that we need fully fluent, fully training ready interpreters, translators, or teachers. We're looking for the whole range of talent that we need in our companies. And right now, of course, it's all about AI. Every single question that's come from every campus we've been on so far this fall is, what are you guys doing about AI? And I'm going to say, well, heck, we got AI right here in our virtual presentation today. So we, as an industry, we hear it, you know, we get it. So you want to come work in our industry is what we're telling the students. And yes, Steve.
I would just like to, I would add to what you're saying and to what Bill has said and argue that the value of the bridge in terms of posting in jobs and sort of visibility of our industry is even more important, I think, than for the other jobs, not just the linguist jobs, because people who are going into study most people who are going into study are assuming that they're going to be a translator and interpreter. Those who have language skills but don't really fit that mold, can't translate or interpret, don't necessarily know that there are other options. So I think there's a huge value in letting people see the incredible variety of jobs that are available in our industry for people who have who have an interest in language, or maybe their language is not as developed as what is needed for a translator or interpreter, but that doesn't mean that they can't have a job in the industry and grow over time. So I think that in particular is important, because I know that when I'm in the classroom teaching, students aren't aware of that. They come to class thinking that they have two options, and if they don't happen to do well in that study, they think they kind of have to give up. And I think that discovering that there is this whole vast world, like all the roles that exist in any company exist in the language industry as well. So there's a lot of opportunity there.
Thank you, Steve. Madam President, I see your hand.
I just want to reinforce what Steve has said as an example, that there are many jobs in companies, and I'll give the example of social media coordinator, intern. We're all expanding our use of social media as a marketing tool for our companies. We hired an intern who was undergraduate at Cornell, and she also was fluent in Arabic and was majoring in languages, but she was our social media coordinator. And coming from her, first of all, she was young, but secondly, coming from her perspective and understanding what it takes and enthusiastic about learning languages, her social media posts target that audience. And so, I mean, there, as Steve said, we don't even think about it. There are so many positions within companies that somebody who's just passionate about being in that environment would love to do. It's certainly not a boring job when you're around all these people speaking different languages. It's not going into an office and just sitting there every day with the same old thing. So that's what attracts a lot of people.
Thank you so much. That is so great, so great. I'm mindful of time. So let me ask Allison, I think you guys have got to be ready now to actually see what we want you to do as ALC members. Keep in mind, this is a tool that we ALC have built for you. And we've built it so that you can attract and then engage the services of really highly educated, highly excited, interested people to come work for you. So if you will show us, Allison, the piece about actually coming in, going up to the job board, and because here where you are here is, well, you're already on the job board.
I'll take you there. Don't worry.
Thank you. I'm gonna go on mute and let you please take us there, as you said.
Okay. So as Kathleen said, when you go here to alcbridge.org, you go straight to this page. There's no need to negotiate through necessarily the ALC website. However, there is a direct link from the website to ALC Bridge as well, right on the front page. But here we're going to be exploring the job board area. And so when you click on this takes you to our platform that houses all of the job postings. This is the main page that both those that are posting jobs as well those that are seeking jobs come to. And even on this main page, we've got featured jobs here. So again, we're constantly trying to highlight the types of jobs that we're posting here. So coming in yourself as you go to post a job, or actually what I wanted to show you really quick is just kind of what the job board looks like to the student before. So again, as a student comes in, they're able to enter their email address and create alert for any new jobs that come available. So know that as soon as you post your job, an email is going to be going out to all of those that have already started looking at the ALC site. With regards to the ALC site, we just launched the end of January. And from that point, as Kathleen said, we're the one drawing attention to ALC. We're drawing attention to the job board. What we need you to do is put jobs on the job board. So since the end of January, we've really had some pushes to be able to increase the number of job posts on the job board. And then also, if we look at our traffic, we've been now pulling between 10,000 to 25,000 views per month just on the job board. So we're working for a larger push for internships beginning in December. And that's a piece that Kathleen has talked about. We have a webinar coming up on November 9th. And that webinar is going to talk about how do you start an internship program? Because this does work great as a job board for other types of jobs, as Kathleen and Karen and others have highlighted. But we're really also looking for internship positions. And so in order to kind of figure out how to navigate that world within your own business, what our goal is to be able to provide a webinar where they can go over some of those generalities that you may want to know. There's an internship in the box program that we have that has a bunch of downloadable files that has everything from internship tasks, job descriptions, some basic HR stuff to review. But all of that type of information will be reviewed on that November 9th webinar. So again, this is the view from kind of the job seeker. But for posting a job, you go just straight up to post a job. Single day posting for members is free. So as you can see, you go through and buy, and then you'll create your account and go through the standard process. So you are a member of the ALC, so you continue here. It's going to show you that I'm already created an account, but it's simple and straightforward. And then we'll ask you similar questions to what you fill out when you do a job board for LinkedIn or kind of any other job board. If you've got any questions during this process, I am available to be able to assist you. But, you know, our goal is to continue to populate ALC Bridge and the job board.
Thank you, Allison. I wanted to say a couple things here. So when you post, Allison will help. I just got a message. You'll see, I'm sure you saw there were quite a few language line requests for very exotic languages. And, you know, for over the phone interpreting, probably not a lot of students are coming out on with those skills. So we, at the ALC Summit, we had a really good meeting with the human resource team from Language Line, and they're going to be in touch with you if they haven't already, Allison. They are now ready to start posting jobs from corporate, which means not just their over the phone service, but they'll be looking for what we're talking about. You know, sales support, project managers, architect solutions, all these good things. So that's going to be exciting. And the volume is good to see because the students need to see that we actually have real jobs. So we're pleased with that. The other thing is that when you come on, you're members automatically of Bridge. You can, in fact, do some buying. There's some things that you can buy if you want to do some advertising and that kind of stuff. But first, what we're trying to do is just get some action going. Do you have any questions? I think that it might be a question or two at this point. Yes, Steve.
Hi, Kathleen.
Hi.
So yeah, I mean, as a headhunting firm,
Yes.
you know, we have quite a few different roles that we're always working on. I mean, lots of even clients or maybe even ALC members will every now and then ask if we can tap into our network to assist with recruiting linguists, but we don't work on linguist roles. And if this is something we want to take off into a different separate call is fine. But we have plenty of different opportunities that we could potentially post on the ALC Bridge website. But those could be specialized roles or entry-level roles. I mean, it's such a wide range. I didn't know how.
If it's going to bring, you know, good talent to the language services industry, I think it's a positive thing. We're not saying that you shouldn't post also on Indeed and LinkedIn and all the, I mean, we know we have competition. But what makes us unique and special is that our concentration is talent for the language services industry. And that's what the academic community is seeing. They're seeing this is good for our language students or anybody interested in that kind of work. Diplomacy, I mean, they start thinking, oh my gosh, our medical students are, you know, they start thinking when they see that we're not constrained to any particular task or job or even language or anything else. It's our industry.
Great.
John, thank you for the question, Steve. John.
Hi, Kathleen. My question is just to do with, does it matter if it's a 1099 versus W-2 opportunity?
It does not. It does not.
Any
And that's very
opportunity is
important.
sufficient.
What we're doing now, thank you, John, for that. What we're doing now when we go on campus is we're very clear that there's a big difference in our workforce classifications. We as employers hire plenty of W-2s, but we also hire a lot of 1099s, of independent contractors. And so what we've been doing is we've been helping the students think about themselves if they do want to come on as an interpreter or a translator, to think about being a business, a freelancer, shaping yourself for that. And that's really opened up students' minds. Then they go, wow. So thank you for that question, John. Steve, my goodness, you have your hand up.
Normally I just jump in, but I
Just talk.
follow protocol this time. No, I would just like to sort of say that, Bridge is there to sort of bridge, obviously, academia and industry, but ultimately we want everybody who's looking for a job or a career in language services to be looking here. So I would encourage you, even if it's not necessarily a job that would be appropriate, maybe for somebody who's just starting out, to post them anyway. We post our jobs there, we post them other places, just to sort of start getting eyes on it, because you never know. I've posted internships there. I've got currently a posting for an interpreter. I've posted for an accountant on Bridge. So I think you just post everything, and the more eyes we have on it, the better. And even though we have members, we have ALC company members and we have academic members, we're also talking about Bridge all over the place. We have a talk on it at ATA next week. And so we're talking to freelance translators and interpreters as well, who we are encouraging to look at the job board. So I would just post whatever you have, and because it'll help us get eyes on it and help us grow the audience for the Bridge.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Josh, my committee chair, my boss today. Am I done?
Well, it looks like we have no more questions. So unless any of the bots have questions, I don't know if they're advanced enough to do that yet.
No.
Doesn't look like it. Okay.
And I'm very glad to see my good colleague in trouble. Her name is Famous and my name is Diamond. So you put us together and we are special.
Yeah, Roz is a member of the membership committee as well. Roz, do you want to introduce yourself? And then we've got 2 more agenda items.
Yes, so good afternoon to everybody. I'm glad to see new faces and faces that I know. Marlene, good afternoon. And welcome to the ALC. This is an exciting place to be. So please ask away any questions that you have. Do not be shy. Raise your hands and say, I want to do something. I want to join something. This is the place for you to be.
What a segue, Rosalind. Oh, you forgot to say where your company and what your company does.
Oh, sorry. I was forgetting. So I am the owner of Lingobox Translation Studio based in Puerto Rico, and we are a growing full service company.
Awesome. Thanks, Roz. So the other 2 things that we wanted to hit today before everybody goes away is a quick review of what volunteer committees there are in the ALC. For you to consider joining, you don't have to be an experienced member to be a committee member. And also the second thing is we have certain partner association benefits that Allison is going to run through as well. So by virtue of the dues you already pay to the ALC, you get some benefits with other sister organizations that you should be aware of. So first thing, I'll just run through the committees really quickly. So obviously the best committee to be a part of is the membership committee, which I chair. And our committee is responsible for, number 1, making sure that you renew, which by the way is coming up soon. So start looking for your checkbook. because you'll be getting a renewal notice shortly. So making sure folks renew, but most importantly to me, what I said earlier of making sure that you realize a return on investment on your membership dollar. And the committee does that through meetings like the cohort. We run the roundtables, we run the webinars and the networking hours. And we're working on some other exciting things like sneak preview. We're working on a executive and residence program, which will be our first step towards some business mentorship type of programs, where you'll have access to senior folks in the industry for a certain amount of time per quarter to be able to just talk and ask questions. So if you're interested in those types of programs, you can reach out to me directly. We have Roz, myself, Melissa Myers. There's 3 of us on the committee, and our president sits on all the committees ex officio. So we could use more help. So there's my plug for membership. We have the events committee, which does Summit, Unconference, Amplify. So that's a great opportunity to get involved in what type of programming you want to see, right? As if you went to Summit and felt like those weren't the workshops I'd like to see, join the committee so you can help influence what those events look like. So those are the 3 big ticket events. Those are all run by the events committee. Obviously, Kathleen's bridge committee, she's full of members at this point, but surely people will rotate off in the next couple of years. So keep your eye on bridge as well. And then the big committee, by sheer number, I think, is advocacy and standards. Kathleen's also on that one because, as she said, she loves volunteering. The advocacy and standards committee has several subcommittees ranging from things like, which obviously in the name, standard setting, working on ASTM and other standards for the industry, advocating as a lobbying type work. We have a subcommittee for relationship to the ASL community. By the way, there's 3 of us on this call in that group. So there's a number of different subcommittees and ways to work on moving the industry forward as a whole in the outside world. And then I think that's it for the committees right now, unless I've missed something. So again, you don't have to be a longtime member. You can join the membership committee your first year. I think we've had people to do that, and there'll be plenty of ways you can contribute and get to know. And that's one cool thing about being on a committee is you really get to know other members in the association, and it starts to encourage a lot of those business relationships that are part of the reason we're in the association in the first place. So I'll pass it over. Any questions on committees?
No, but I'll just say that we need your voices. We love new blood, so to speak. We have a brand new board, almost a couple of them were on before, but we have many new members, and we're really excited about that. It's a really good time to volunteer. We promise you'll have fun. It's not all work and no play. Yes,
absolutely. And okay, so Allison, would you mind perhaps showing where to find the partner associations on, or I can put that up.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right. So as Josh indicated, we have partnerships. And so there are a number of organizations worldwide that we work closely with. So that's my calendar. So if you go to the ALC website and go under who we are and go to partnerships, you'll start to understand the various different types of organizations that we work with. A lot of other language industries in different regions of the world, as well as those that are kind of similar to us, but kind of like adjacent, slightly different, GALA, ATA, and things like that. So these are all the organizations that we work with closely and have partnership agreements. And then what we do within those agreements is there's usually a reciprocal discount between the 2 different organizations for our events. So we offer a 15% discount to members of these organizations for our events, whether it be on conference or the annual summit and Amplify, but vice versa, they often offer us reciprocal discounts as well. So underneath events and the event calendar, I don't believe we have any right now, but I know we are populating a few, one being Juntos, and their event coming up in the late winter. But what we do is we will include their events on our event calendar. And then as you go into the event calendar and you click on it, we'll put the discount code to use during registration in that area as well.
Great. Thank you, Allison. Any questions for Allison? Or at this point, anything else? We're at the end of the agenda.
Don't be shy.
Ah. Okay. Well, seeing no questions, thank you everybody for spending an hour of your valuable time with us today. Thanks, Kathleen, for leading and the committee for participating today. And the next cohort meeting will be in January. I've forgotten the date already, but that was on the screen earlier. We'll be focused on ALC events, the WhatsApp group, overview of the website, including the members only section and what resources are available there and how to use them. So that's what we'll be talking about in January. So be sure to put it on your calendar if you didn't attend January in 23.
And don't forget to registration is open for the unconference in Cancun.
I just received the email today, yes.
I promise it's a great time. You'll love it.
Terrific.
And remember, if there's something that you guys want as members, if there's something that you see that's lacking, just let us know. Don't hold it in. Just let us know, like, hey, we'd like to see this. And then we can see how we can work around getting that for you.
I'd also like to invite you to November 2nd at noontime Eastern to our introduction to the new board and the vision for the association. So we'll talk more about our goals for the future, and we'd like you to become involved in all of that. So you'll be getting notices for that.
Great. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your week and see you next time.
Take care.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.